Kamusta na muli kayo? Welcome to our Week 8 topic for Quarter 3. Food is essential for life, but population increase faster than food. Population will grow until the demand of food supply is diminished. And what will happen? Yes, magkakaubusan ng pagkain and there will be widespread scarcity. Actually, it was a prediction of Thomas Malthus, an English economist. He was the one who wrote an essay about the principle of population. Here, he described the forthcoming population catastrophe and the Malthusian catastrophe, that according to him, when population growth outpaces agricultural production will cause war, famine, and disease. He used also graphs showing geometric growth and arithmetic growth. If geometric growth pertains to population and arithmetic growth pertains to food supply. According to him, population growth geometrically meaning that population rate will be doubled, whereas food supply increases arithmetically as the amount of land is finite, meaning there will be limits on resources. As we continue to study biodiversity, that will be our topic. Explain the relationship between the population growth and carrying capacity. Sino ang nakakaalala kay Gina Lopez? According to her powerful speech, sino ang nagdudusa pag binawasan ang kalikasan? Sino? Yung mahihirap. Actually, hindi lang siya, pati mga ecologists. But why they do this? Why should we care if the number of organisms in an area is increasing or decreasing? Kasi population that are growing or diminishing can be indications of potential problems in the organisms and environment. At dyan sila naaalarma. Dyan naaalarma ang mga ecologists. It is not enough for them to know if the number of organisms is increasing or decreasing. They need to know why the number of organisms change. Yun ang mahalaga sa kanila. Bakit? Ano ang dahilan? So let us have different pictures muna. First picture ng mga strawberry. May iba bang kasamang prutas? Okay, wala. Puro strawberry lang. Another one, picture ng mga tao. Puros mga tao lang ba? Yes. And then, picture ng mga aso. Puros aso lang. And then, picture ng mga manok. So, kung meron tayo ditong 4 na picture na merong kanya-kanyang grupo, ano kaya ang tawag dito? Yes, that is what we call now as population. So when we say population, that is a group of organisms of the same species that live in a certain areas. And there are many factors that can cause a population to change. For example, you are leaving USA for another country, o ikaw mismo na nakatira sa Pilipinas, pupunta ka sa ibang bansa. Ang tawag dun ay emigration, used to describe someone who is leaving a region such as native country to live somewhere else. What if kung ang scenario naman ay ganito? Moving into the USA from another country. Ikaw na nasa Pilipinas, pumunta ka sa Amerika. And then from Amerika, pumunta ka sa Canada. From Canada, nagpunta ka naman sa Australia. Therefore, it is called now as immigration. Someone who is moving into different location to live there. Another one, if this is death rate and this is birth rate. Using mathematical symbol, how will you compare death rate to birth rate? Okay, very good. Death rate is less than birth rate, or should we say, birth rate is greater than death rate. And what do you think what will happen to our population if birth rate is greater than death rate? Okay, very good. Population will grow. But if death rate is greater than birth rate, what will happen to our population? Population will decrease. Population's growth is limited also by two general factors. For example, natural disaster, extreme weather, human activity. Kapag ba mga ito ay na-experience ng tao, ano kaya sa palagay nyo ang pwede mangyari? Yes, very good. Pwede silang mamatay, diba? And that will be density-independent factors. Those are factors that can stop population from growing. Another one, predation, competition, disease, parasitism. Ang tanong muna, bakit ba nagkakaroon ng mga competition? Competition ba saan? Okay, pwede sa pagkain. Yung disease, sakit ng mga tao. Okay, so very good. Kasi dumadami na ang populasyon. Kung ganon, this is what we call now density-dependent factors. Those are factors that come into play when population reaches a certain number of organisms. Let us have an analogy for carrying capacity. We have here a bucket of water. Puno na, nilagyan ko pa ng tubig. And what will happen? Yes, aawas siya. O kaya naman, pwedeng mabutas na kasi sobrang dami na ng tubig dun sa balde, diba? If this bucket of water is our habitat and resources, at yung mga tubig na dadagdag ay mga pinapanganak pa. At yung mga natapon na tubig, ito yung mga number ng populasyon na nababawas. So, ang tanong dito, bakit nababawasan yung number ng populasyon? Pwedeng gawa ng starvation, accidents, pollution, old age, o kaya disease. Ang tawag ngayon dyan ay carrying capacity. So when we say carrying capacity, it refers to the number of individuals who can be supported in a given area with natural resource limits only and without degrading the natural, social, cultural, and economic environment for present and future generations. Another one how to explain carrying capacity is through graph. Here, it tells us that resources are unlimited, kaya this is a period of rapid growth. So that's the reason why we have here J-shaped na curve. And this is what we call exponential population growth. During this period, there are plenty of resources available for all organisms. So, ano ang pwede mangyari sa populasyon natin? More birds are recorded than death in organism. How about this graph? For this time, resources are limited. Kaya ito ay mayroong logistic growth at meron na siyang S-shaped na curve. And since resources are limited, population expansion decreases as resources become scarce. Mga anak, let us now summarize our topic. There are some factors that can cause population size to change. Immigration, emigration, birth, death. Population's growth is limited by two general factors: density-independent factor, density-dependent factor. And using exponential growth and logistic growth, it can tell us about the carrying capacity in a certain place. So for your learning task 1, I want you to study the chart about the habitat where cow population has reached its carrying capacity. This is our graph for the number of cows, and this is our guide questions. For our learning task 2, I want you to explain the importance of biodiversity in adaptation and survival of organisms through an essay. And of course, we have rubrics for our essay. Yan, quiz na tayo. So for our learning task 3, multiple choice, encircle the letter of the correct answer based on what you have learned in this lesson. Number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, and number 5. So mga anak, dito na nagtatapos ang ating topic para sa ating quarter 3. Hanggang sa muli. Salamat!